are back with some more
Space News! Our boss has found a little extra money in the budget after we bought the chairs to send us right into orbit, baby. Definitely not just in front of a green screen. Easy. Don't you? Whoa, that is a little pokey down there.
Okay, well, let's take a look at some of the top stories from the final frontier.
It really is pretty cool looking, though.
That
they found us an asteroid to stand on that was this steady.
It is. It's very steady out here.
It's pretty remarkable.
It's good.
Let's start with a big announcement on NASA's return to the moon. The space agency tweeted out this picture yesterday. This is the core stage rocket for Artemis II. The core stage is the largest rocket used to get the rest of Artemis II out of Earth's atmosphere.
Wow.
It's more than 212 feet tall and will hold some 733,000 gallons of super chilled rocket fuel. You want the fuel to be really relaxed. I was going to pause as long as I had to get that laugh, just to be clear. The rocket was built at an assembly facility in New Orleans, in Louisiana, but the rocket, that's not where it takes off from. So the rocket has to be loaded on a barge, and it will be shipped more than 900 miles via barge to the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The goal is to have the Artemis II ready for a test launch in September 2025. Yesterday was actually the 55th anniversary of the first mission to the moon, Apollo 11. NASA hopes to make history on its first return mission to the moon. The agency has promised that it will land the first woman, first person of color, and its first international partner astronaut on the moon with Artemis.
Wow.
It's really neat. I mean, it's really neat to think about, and just the amount of preparation going into it. And by the way, I don't know about the building of rockets as much as I wish I did. You're still really into the float.
I just want to float. Is that all right?
The commitment to it is, I could not respect it more. But, okay, so hypothetically, let's just say, I'm building a 200-foot tall rocket.
Okay.
Okay? It's going to hold really relaxed fuel. Yes. Why would I not build it
in the place closer to the plate?
You're going to put that on a barge?
Maybe they didn't think about that first, or maybe there's a reason.
Come on.
I don't know.
NASA, you thought about that, right? Like, there's a reason. Like there had, whether it's the facility.
Well, let's get our NASA friend on the phone.
Okay.
Because we do have one.
We do have a NASA friend.
We do have a NASA friend.
We do.
So maybe we'll see
we're going to
find
have
that
to
out.
get the answers.
By
the way, the only other person that has ever looked this comfortable, just sort of floating through space.
Sandra Bullock.
No, is Leia Organa in, what is that, episode 8, Really Bad, where Princess Leia just somehow floats through space with absolutely no protection from space at all and survives.
I knew there was going to be some sort of Star Wars reference.
It is arguably a top 5 disappointing moment in Star Wars for me.
All right.
Just randomly, like Mary Poppins, just floating through space.
Did she have an umbrella?
She honestly might as well have. It was that upsetting to me.
I'm sorry. That you had that.
I got that went in a direction I wasn't expecting. All right.
All right. Well, if it's possible that there's life on Venus, they heard some good music recently. NASA says that it has transmitted Missy Elliott's song, "The Rain, Super Duper Fly" to Venus via radio antennas.
I could listen to you say "Super Duper Fly" every day for the rest of my life.
We're not allowed to sing things.
I know.
So I have to say it.
Yes, and you did great.
It took nearly 14 minutes of the song to travel about 158 million miles to the planet of love. Elliott posted to social media about the feat, saying, quote, "The sky is not the limit, it's just the beginning."
Now I wonder, much like I wonder about why the thing's built in Louisiana when it's got to get to Florida.
Why they chose that particular
Why Missy
song?
Elliott?
Yeah, I mean,
great. But
fun song. Was there a particular rhythm to the, does he
this
have an
just
answer?
in, CBS News says it's just her favorite planet. And I don't know, first of all, I don't know many musicians' favorite planets, but
Missy
apparently
Elliott
she's put that out there at some point.
Has put that out that it's her favorite Venus, so they decided to go with the song first.
Sure, because
it symbolizes strength.
Venus?
That's what Tanner just told me.
I thought it was love. Is it strength or love?
Beauty, and empowerment.
Or is it love through strength? Or strength through love?
I don't know.
I'm your Venus. I'm your fire. Your desire. Even astronauts get bored. Astronauts. I said astronauts.
You said astrids.
Astrids. They also do too, which is a great Viking name. Anyway, astronauts, they get bored at work sometimes. A crew member on the International Space Station is sharing how he made his own astronaut fidget spinner. Take a look.
This is a bolt and a nut from a Russian cargo vehicle. It's an extra bolt and nut that we had. And it's always kind of cool up here to see how things float. You know, just letting something float in front of you is always fun. But, you know, as we've done maintenance all over Space Station, I've noticed that as you spin something, as the nut comes off, it's always entertaining to watch. And so maybe to think about this as an astronaut fidget spinner, but we've had a good time laughing about it. And so you're just hanging out and you come up with a game. So one night I was sitting there and I was spinning the nut off the bolt and just watching it spin, and thought to myself, well, I wonder if I could catch it. And so we ended up spinning it off, and actually I just got super lucky that time on the first take. Most of the time it takes 15, 20 times to get that to work. But we spent a good amount of time with our Russian colleagues and ourselves one night hanging out around the dinner table, all of us with a nut and a bolt, trying to do that here. That's more representative of how it goes each time.
That's good. That's fun.
You could see spending quite literally hours trying to perfect that.
That is super cool.
I'm glad they track things really carefully, like up there, because I wouldn't be like, hey, Steve, you know where this goes?
Right.
Should this be holding the oxygen tank onto the side of the thing?
Yeah, you hope that nut and bolt was just something very important.
But they do, they know down to the last thing. So I'm sure that didn't need to be somewhere.
By the way, Astrid, do you remember who's from The Office?
Yes, Jan's daughter.
Daughter that Michael could not ever say the name correctly.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Anyway, sorry.
It was awesome.
Thought of that.
No, I appreciate the complete randomness of that reference.
Thank you. Yeah.
That made me happy.
That's what we do here on Our Cincinnati. Totally
I love
random.
it so much. Okay.
You can inspire the next generation of astronauts later this week. This Friday, the Cincinnati Observatory is hosting a family astronomy night. The activities are geared towards families with children around 5 to 12. You'll be able to view through their giant telescope, a tour of the observatory, and do arts and crafts. Tickets are $15 for adults, $7 for kids, and free for observatory members. The fun gets started at 7 p.m. I'm seriously considering taking my son to
Has he ever been?
do that. He's not been to this observatory.
Okay.
So last week he did, I called it Space Camp, but it was a Cincinnati Parks camp that what they called Mission to Mars, because they apparently have a telescope or a observatory of some sort in Burnett Woods.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a giant. I didn't get to see it myself, but there's something there that they can.
I mean, because you've been there, but he will
space.
love the
Yes, I think
observatory.
he will
eat that. That first time they crank the roof open.
No, it's really neat.
It's super cool. Super cool. Okay.
Sure, you can stop watching, but let's be honest, you want to know more. Tap the links, or even better, click subscribe to stay in the know.